Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 9 of the V8 Vets, coming to you tonight for Splitsbury lads from mid-Ohio in the central west of America. It's round 9. We're getting to the very pointy end of the season, and with me in the chat we have Bruce McLeod, Ed Cullen, Peter Baxter, Red James, and new season 19 driver Stephen Varga. How are we, gentlemen?
Very good, thanks, John.
Fantastic, John.
Evening, viewers.
Very happy tonight, Johnny. How are you?
Oh, I am here. That is the start.
Great that
What's that, folks?
I was going to say, great that I'm a new driver.
Oh, you are the paper champion from season back when Jamie had a season off, wasn't it?
11 or 10 or 9 or something.
Something like that.
Still counts.
Still counts. And big shout out to everyone in the chat as well. We've got Reg Jones, Pete Kelleher, Anita, Mick, Marty, Sean, Brett, Pato, and Husey. Great to have you guys out there. Let's have a look at this track. And it is an awesome little circuit. And we start, of course, on the start-finish straight, sweep up through the big turn 1, up top to the hill, up and around the Keyhole, where you need to get a good exit down the hill. Through the layman's turn 3, down into turn 4, China Beach. Just hot tip for everybody, plenty of sand in China Beach. And then you come through turn 4, back up over the rise of 5, over the Bryan Crest, down the hill through 6. And then we go through turn 7 and 8, where we have to control the car again for a fair bit of speed in turn 9. And then we come sweeping over the rise at 9, through Thunder Valley, up through 10, through 11. And then we go around the carousel. Don't tell Gunter it's called the carousel. And then into turn 13, and then back across the start-finish straight. Fairly short track, very tough track to pass, and very, very interesting track for us to have our 40 cars on tonight.
Now, Johnny, I was told that there was a little Chinaman down at the beach there that would fill your boot full of sand. Did you go in there?
I may have been seen doing some circle work down in the sand down at China Beach.
I was told that it was cheap boot full of sand at China Beach. So if you went in there, it was like more about preparation for next season. That's what I heard anyway.
You could be close. We'll work it out. Let's have a look at, of course, let's have a little bit of a look at the starting grid for tonight. If we hit the right button, should pop up. And we have Steve Lanyon from SLS Racing on pole. And he set a time of a 1:22.006, which they tell me would have done pretty well in split 1. And on the front row, we've got Synergy Sim Racing, Pete Kelleher. I think Ross the boss would be pretty happy to see the pink machine on the front row. And then we've got Ed Cullen shooting again into P3 for Shadow Racing, lining up against Angry Birds, Darren Walden in P4. Great result from Darren. Andrew Galley from Dag Motorsport, P5. Scotty Perrins from Quantum Peckies Racing in P6. Adrian Zeal from Team AJR in Team 7. Bruce McLeod in 8th from Shadow Racing. Then Laurie Saunders in the top 10. Great result for Laurie to put himself there alongside the one and only Mark Dial. Pete Baxter, championship leader, sitting all the way back in 11th. This could be an issue here. And then we go into P12 to Darren Friend from Old Mates and Sons. Russell Gander is in P13 and he lines up alongside Shane Patterson from Old Mates and Sons with a great result there in 14th. Andrew Johnson from Team AJR in 15th. Morning, Andrew. And then Brett Fisher from Shadow Racing in 16th. Mick Clifton from Accelerate in 17th. He lines up alongside Justin Wood from Dag Motorsport. Marty Hughes from Pacific Esports is 19 alongside the wildcard rookie Sean Vandermeulen in 20th for Wildfire Racing. Anita Buckland, great result, qualifying in 21st ahead of Carl Littlehoff Jr. Pickering from Pico Racing in 22nd. Darren Vermey with a great result in 23rd, lines up alongside the one and only David Baldock. Not with us tonight because he's watching an inter-team match. So Port Adelaide are beating Port Adelaide. So just a typical night down in Port Adelaide, I guess, on a Friday. And we head into 25th. WKMP's John Van Riet lines up alongside the German superstar Gunther von Nordschleife in 26th. Phil Marsh in 27th, and then Dave Galley from Dag Motorsports in 28th. Jeff Sandford from Player One Racing in 29th. And then we line up against Craig Rose from Quantum Pecky Racing. Were you spotting for him last night, Bugs?
No, I wasn't. No, I was watching Split One.
Continuing on with Joseph Grenshaw from iDrive Sim, lining up alongside Henry James Racing. Pete Baxter's neighbour, Henry James, of course. So Sean Slater in 32nd. Matty Beale in 33rd from Player One, lining up alongside the better-looking Baxter in 34th from Coast to Coast. We had Andrew Hoffman in the safety car driving around in a plaster cast. Reg James was our race controller. And Todd Duggan popped in to say hello because he missed me. Reese DeGoey, this is the big news of the night. Reese DeGoey, sitting second in the championship, did not set a time, starting in P40. Jeff Richardson in P41. Lucas Burt is our other race controller. And then Tim Vermay from 1MLT didn't set a time either. So we had 40 cars on the grid. Absolutely sensational number for this race.
Yeah, I was talking to Reese after the race, and he said, in going for the qualifying laps, it was actually turn 1 and turn 2 that got him on both of his laps. He got one bys, and he was horrified, to be back down the grid. So gave me a little bit of comfort that he was there, but to be honest, I gave up a little bit too much time anyway, my own qualifying, so I wasn't particularly comfortable where I was.
So there's
To be honest, I was going to say, to be honest, I thought I'd missed that he got a pit lane start, to be honest. I thought, I must have got a pit lane start. I didn't think he got one, but yeah, obviously not.
And there's no truth to the rumours that I sold him sandbags.
Must admit, just personally, that was the second race this season where I've gone purple in qualifying. So either I'm just crapping practice and okay qualifying, or something's coming together.
Good on you, mate. Purple in qualifying is something to pat yourself on the back for, and I think anybody who can do that, that's proof that practice works, right? So you just get in there because the track state improves over qualifying. If you can smash a purple, mate, go for it. That's good for everyone.
That's what you doing.
He just said he stuffed up turn 1 both times.
Yeah.
It always does it.
Very easily done.
Very, very easily done. Well, we might light the wick on this one since we don't have a Gunter or a Bulldog. Going in for a nice peaceful night, I think. And yeah,
Night is still young, Johnny. The night is still young.
Careful, you might invoke him.
Yeah, we'll kick the wick on this one. We'll get it started and let's see what happens. We might start watching on you, Pete Baxter. And we're away. Bit of wheel spin.
Good start. Really good start.
Line up alongside Dial. There's a wall there. Pete.
That's the end of the good start.
Don't worry, you're not the only one playing that game. There's people moving everywhere, making it hard for me to find them. Getting back up the hill here, it's a bit further back. This is Darren Vermay. He takes a slightly different line to everyone else. And yours truly, trying to give his teammate plenty of room. Gives him a little bit too much room and winds up watching everybody go by. Hello, bye-bye. And in the meantime, Steve Lenyon is well and truly out in front.
I got to say, within a millisecond of hitting the wall, Reg, our race controller, had hit. Yeah, I've noted you turned around, Pete. Fuck, keep going. Drive on. Nothing to look at. Play on. So it was straight into mental mindset. Okay, how can I recover? What can I do? What's here? And there we go. Who's that? Andrew Galley.
Andrew Galley.
No. Yeah, so Andrew's come over the hill. He's just put the power down that little bit too early and gone around. So you have the dual things of joy and sadness.
That is so easy to do at that time.
Yeah. And I know the feeling of sitting there watching everyone go past.
Yep.
Hello, Andrew.
Come and join us, Andrew. We're at the back.
Fourth to 30 something in 2 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, not much fun. Anyway, moving back on. Lanyon, Kelleher going a little wide into turn 2 here. Opening the door up. Darren Walden doing well, sitting in P3. Ed Cullen's lost a spot. Zippy's up 2. McLeod's up 2. Dial up 3. Pato up 6 spots at this stage. Red Rocket is firing. Amazing.
Managed to get a move done on Scott and somebody else come on the off the start. I'm so happy with that. Sorry, Scotty.
Just
Yeah, his
mate.
spotter put me off at the start. Just made me hesitate for a second. I lost 2 off the start straight. Just as it went green, he went ready. And I just looked for a second, lost 2 spots.
It doesn't take much.
No.
Sack your spotter. Get a new
Yeah,
one.
he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah. No good keeping a spotter who does that to you. Yeah.
So, you know, I was lucky to pick one up from the guy just fell off. So, bit of red mist at this stage.
It's all right. Bulldogs was calling in lap 1 turn 2, turn pass of the century at that stage, but I wasn't listening.
Neither was I.
A little bit of smoke up the front. That might have been Pato, I think.
Yeah, so front tyres was interesting. So this is where we sort of made a bit of a discovery. Well, I say it made a bit of a discovery, and then we sort of went from there. But we were sort of in practice, we were just trying to crank our bias back as far as we could to see how far we could manage it, just to make the front tyres live, particularly as everyone else was locking fronts, and it seemed to do the job for the most part.
Into the pits by now.
Nice dive from Marty Hughes.
Nice move.
Makes it stick.
Yeah, good move, Marty. Well done.
Of course, hard work going up and over the hill. 2 wide. And Rusty comes back. Over the ridge. I might go back. There's a few other good little battles. Jeff Sanford. He's got Dave Baldock in his sights at this stage. A good pass coming up soon.
How did we find the track? There was really only probably a couple of spots to overtake in my mind, but did everybody else find the same thing?
Yeah. Yeah, you had to,
I think it was one of those tracks that you either loved or hated.
you had to pick your you had to pick your spots, and you had to be careful about how you went about it.
Yeah,
I'd
that
drive
was-
here over Winton any day of the week.
Oh, this is way easier to overtake than Winton. I reckon there's a couple of spots here for overtaking, but you got to set them up. And you got to plan for them and set them up 2 or 3 corners early. Whereas Winton, you just got to wait for someone to make a mistake. But that's my perspective. But I kind of like Mid Ohio, but I've raced here quite a bit in the IndyCar with wings and slick. So the Supercar was just a little bit different, but sort of same sort of concept. You still had to you've got to find the right momentum out of a corner to find a spot. And if you got your braking right, you can find spots.
Well, they race the NASCAR trucks here in real life apparently, so supercars should be no problem.
Yeah, it was a very popular track back in the day on R Factor, so a lot of us have done a lot of laps around this place.
Oh, it's a very famous circuit in the States for all their categories.
Yeah, but Pete, I think it's a very technical track, and I think if you reduced your mistakes, you got rewarded quite well there.
It's about being able to stay in your rhythm.
Yeah,
And this comes from somebody who's currently sitting in 34th. So yeah, sweet.
So I've done my left shoulder rotator cuff, so I would much rather it have been a left hand. If we'd run it anti-clockwise, that would be much better for me.
All right, so for Bruce, the next track needs to be Talladega or Daytona Oval.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Here he goes, Bulldogs, pass of the century on Pico.
Oh, look at that.
Geez, you would have heard about that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Did we hear about it?
Is that the one where Reg Jones said, "Yeah, no, shut up. We don't need that sort of stuff over the comms. Everybody else needs to race."
No, it wasn't that one.
I don't believe it was those exact words.
it come across like that, Reg.
It happened at some stage. I just wasn't sure whether it was Dave bragging about his overpass.
It was a polite way of saying, shut up. Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, it wasn't Baldock making those moves though. It was someone else. Baldock was busy screaming on Discord. Did you see that, Gunter? Did you see that, Dave? Want to see that pass?
Now I just had to let Mark by there because I've got to slow down on the curb on turn right.
When did Fabio join the series?
Yeah, he's representing Delta tonight on the bonnet. Have seen that before, haven't you, Vards?
No.
Let's go rear chase. There you go.
Oh, hello.
Representing his former team, Delta.
Welcome to the broadcast, Marks.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a little concerned that he asks what I'm wearing every week.
Yeah, that's right.
It's always a good picture on the bonnet. I'm waiting for the Zoolander.
I think completely unhooked. So a bit on you. This is where sort of Mark and I were getting, I wouldn't say frustrated, but we're definitely being held up a little bit by Adrian. It's part of the race, watching Ed slowly pull away. So this is me still with that slow down gap of about 2.5 seconds, so I had to bring that back. So don't go too far on that right hand curb.
Mark Dial was pretty quick last night. The Godfather had some sort of supercar Zen thing going on that he was running pretty quick all night.
Yeah, and last week he had a great run too.
Yeah.
It's taken him half a season to get back in his rhythm, I think.
Yeah. Can we sack him for the next 3 races or something, just so he slows down again?
He's getting on top of a few hardware issues.
Yeah, actually, can't think of it. He's not the only one because I remember, was it Ed Fox or Matty Monday asking about shifting problems that are only in the race but not in practice sessions? Mark had that same issue last night.
Not sure about Matty. I know Dave Worrell had his 31 brick itself on Thursday morning.
Oh no.
And I think he only unbricked it at about 7:30. They had no settings and no buttons set up or anything. Nita's doing really well, hassling Bulldog. So he picked up a few driving tips last week at Sydney Motorsport Park. And let's just have a look how Richo's getting on.
His bonnet.
Yeah, he's got his bonnet at this stage.
He's up 12 spots. Ooh.
Yeah.
Just that rear looks planted, I reckon.
It's looking a bit low in the back too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah.
It's slow in the straight line.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a bit taily. It's got a bit, yeah, look at that. Yeah. It's like the centre of gravity is like further back for some reason.
Yeah.
I do like that you put Sandman on the back of it, John. That's a nice touch.
Thank you. Someone saw it.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Matty Beale, I think. Is that one?
Matty's going to see the Chinaman.
Yeah, Matty Beale's. Yeah. Matty Beale's
three
getting,
bags of,
getting a free bootload.
yeah, 3 bags of sand. Thanks, Mr. Chinaman. Off we go. There we go. See it? See, look, that's just enough time for a digger to fill the boot, and off he goes.
Just reading Anita's comments.
Involved in it.
Matty Grenshaw, was it?
Right.
Anita
So-
saying that she had that Gunnar was a real gentleman. He left his keys in the ignition instead of the bowl.
So here's
it
our.
was,
Go ahead.
interesting second lap out of the top 6 qualifiers. They ended up doing their fastest lap in the race on the first, second and third lap. So it was on from the go. So no one was holding back.
No, they didn't muck around.
I was going to say, you saw Brett Fisher in shot. So we have a little bit of banter, you know, just like nothing too crazy. No, we do. And then I realised, 10 laps has gone. I was like, haven't heard from Brett for 10 laps. It's like, hey, go, Brett. Oh, okay, yeah, that's all good. He's just like slowly working, chopping his way up. Another 10 laps of silence. You still there, Brett? Oh, yeah, all good. Let's get the job done.
It's one of those tracks, if you're in a pack, you have to work really hard.
Oh yeah, and concentrate.
Oh, yeah.
Keep forgetting Brett's new to the series.
Yeah, I think it must have been really hard if you were a back marker and getting past.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I know I did make one call last night. That's only because I think the drivers were looking forward, not looking backwards, just to sort of let them know that I was there. But more than anything else, I wasn't too stressed about it. Oh, Scotty Barrett's. So the thing I love about this little battle that's going on here is it's taken all the pressure off me. Because I'm the next car up the road.
5-second gap there, didn't you?
Yep.
Yep.
And I wasn't doing scorches at this stage. I was just trying to just keep it together and conserve everything.
Darren Friend doing well there. Hang on.
Yeah, Reese has just said Scotty was racy last night. He's sort of getting his mojo back as well, Scotty.
Scotty held someone off for like quite a long time, and it was quite a demanding race for him. So it might have been Brett, but yeah, it was made it a good race, an entertaining race. And the good thing was, I mean, we've all learnt we can sort of race each other and be clean and make the setup. So just you still got to put the pressure on to get someone to make a mistake, but good fun. Meanwhile, right now I'm still in 33rd, just hoping the shit that Steve Lanyon doesn't let me.
Yeah, I was saying, where was
Hang on tight, boys. It's a long ride.
Oh, yeah. 32. That was three laps. You were in 32 at that stage.
Yeah.
You must be going, hang on, we've got 11 laps gone.
So it's pretty normal we all have a race like that. I think for me this season so far that would be Zandvoort. I remember I think the season before or the season before that it was Sandown where I was like 4 laps down.
Now we're talking they're not the lead lap.
Yeah.
But in say 25 down you think, wow, this is interesting.
Praying for a safety car where you're Pete?
Actually, I wasn't because I pitted on at the end of lap 2, turned into a one-stopper, and just went, right, this is just massive undercut territory for me. I knew I was faster than quite a few, and I thought, I've just got to drive the hell out of this with full tanks and see where I end up once the first pit cycle ends up. So I had about 15 laps to undercut as many cars as I could.
I think this is probably one of the only race distances where it would have actually been nice to not have had 2 CPSs because it was a 1 or 2 right on the cusp with the fuel burn.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that we got essentially, and I've said this all along the whole season, they're really all one-stop races with 2 compulsory pit stops because to me, what that does from a strategic point of view is that gives the maximum flexibility to finish the race, and you can pit essentially at any time within the CPS window and get there. Whereas I know a lot of other leagues will do like 2 CPSs and they give you fuel restrictions, but your window is only sort of 3 or 4 laps wide, and so everybody's got to go to those 3 or 4 laps. And what I love about the way we've got it set up now is that the overlap window is essentially the whole race, right? The whole CPS race. So you can have a shock and start, and you can mix your strategy up and go for it, and then see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing which we miss, and we're not going to get it with this car, with this tyre model and fuel model, is the one stopper versus the two stopper races. If you had like super softs, but I'd say you could go the hard and one stop and super softs and burn them out. That would be interesting from a tyre compound point of view, but we just can't do it in iRacing with these cars.
I think that's an IndyCar style model on the supercars. We're quite a way off that, but anyway, that's my sort of crew chief and game whole race thinking head going on. I just love the fact that the CPS window gives us maximum overlap and maximum opportunity, because essentially in a lot of others, if you have an early off and you have to have a third stop, you still have to do the 2 pit stops, and it sort of ruins your race, whereas this gives everybody a chance to sort of fight regardless of where they are.
Yeah, no, I love the 2 pit stop strategy. It definitely beats the run it till it's empty, fill it up and run again, which is what you normally get with the fuel restricted one stop races. Question in chat: will we be racing with rain when it comes? The answer is no, we won't, Marty, because this current generation of supercar is not supported for the rain.
Rain's going to be a long way off anyway with the supercar. They'll bring it out with them. I think they said GT3s and a few other cars, but when supercars get it, it'll probably be another year down the track, if not more.
It'll be Gen 3, and if you read the update that came this week, they're now working furiously on Gen 3. I think iRacing will miss a massive trick if they don't have the supercar out for the Bathurst 1000 in the first race of Season 4. So my gut feel, / educated guess, is that Gen 3 will come this year at the end of Season 3.
Get back to the Super Friday Night Fun. Marty Hughes has just called out John Van Ree for hitting an apex with sandbags in the boot. No, I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
And I'm just going, Marty is cool.
That's gold.
Here we go. Pick a gap.
Oh, 3 wide. Johnny Van Ree 3. Oh, he's made it through too. Oh, on the inside, you're going to get 2 spots in one straight. Look at that. Oh, and Johnny Van Ree, how do he switch it off? He's on one control. Sandbags held the acceleration. Off he goes. He's up into 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear. He's going to hit the carriage. He's got a car on his outside. He's coming down the outside. He's going to hit the braking. Oh, he's tightened him. Oh, no. Oh, just a little bit of overlap. Just turned him around. Johnny Van Ree is backing to see the Chinaman, and he's getting the sandbags filled back up so he can get back on the racetrack. Oh, that's really sad for big Johnny Van Ree. Over to you, fellas.
Nice work, Pete.
Race control.
Race control was about as impressed with that as he was last night.
Jeez, John, did you get the call? Can you? I can't stop. Can you just pop out in front of me so you can slow me down?
It was interesting. It was interesting. Good fun though.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't resist.
It was good. I loved it.
It's exciting.
I wonder if you can do one like that later.
Next time Scotty Rankin's not available for Pro Series, you know who I'm going to tell Brenton to call, don't you?
So, in case you're wondering, Zippy he pitted early, which is why he's now down in P33.
I was wondering what happened there.
Yeah, he just pitted early. It looks like.
I think we harassed him too much.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, I decided I'd pit about this time as well after that, and nicely forgot where my pit box was because it was basically the first pit box. So I've entered pit lane and gone, I guess I'm just driving down pit lane here.
So, in my mind, after going through many races this season where I've tried the undercut and it hasn't worked because I've come out in traffic, you just take one look at that track map and went, I'm running till it's empty.
How long did you have? I mean, I measured about 18 laps for a first fuel stamp on the 50 litres we got. I think somebody got about 19 or 20, but most people started pitting about 16.
I got 20.
On lap 19.
I went in after Edwin 20.
Yeah, I got 19, but I had like enough if I'd really pushed it to go one more.
I think
So you're going to get 21.
I got 0.7 on.
Oh,
there's a little
a bit rough.
Who was that? Was that John Van Rey? Did that?
No, it wasn't me. That was Dave.
But how our splits change, you know, in the
So is
past,
that a warning or the second tap?
that would have been spinning upside down, where that was a tap and just on the grass and then back on racing again.
Yep.
So we're still having, you know, our rubbins racing, but it's just not as solid and as bad as it was.
Yeah, and mistakes are always going to happen. And you're just going to send it. Yeah, you're going to misjudge things, but it's more like fam. It's not like I'm going to send it up the inside and I'm just going to, basically use him as a doorstop. It's normally like maybe half a meter, or when the contact happens, it's a lot smaller. Just
Because there was a lot of chatter about lag. Reg?
Throw Reg under the bus for net code. Yeah, Reg, it's your fault, mate. Why did we have so much net code last night at mid-IO?
Yeah. He was watching the replays, so you could see it.
It was shocking.
I thought that last update we had on Wednesday or whatever was supposed to address that.
that update was addressing hits in wall, like phantom hits into the wall, is what that was addressing, not car and car contact.
The netcode was that good last night that I looked at my replay, and then I looked at somebody else's replay on the same incident, and the cars were in different positions on the track.
Oh no.
Well, that's actually
it was
quite.
literally an incident looked like one way on one, and it looked like a completely opposite way on somebody else's
I
replay.
can see a massive smoke trail up ahead. Yeah, that's definitely the case all of the time if replays haven't been patched. So there's a setting in the ini file around replay patching, and if you have that set to on when you load this replay, when you close the replay and load it up, it'll patch the cars and it'll put them all together based from a single source of truth. But if you have that off, they are all the positions that each driver sees. So, because a classic example is like Ed's in Perth, I'm in Sydney, and when we're practicing and racing really, really close together, we will definitely send each other off simply because of the you can't outrun the speed of light. It's as simple as that.
I quote that. You can't outrun the speed of light. I want to throw that into a physics exam somewhere.
You can't. You can't change it. No matter how fast you're having to make netcode, you still can't beat the laws of physics.
You can't outrun the speed of light. No, the speed of light's pretty quick. Anyway. Maybe not as quick as Johnny Van Ree with sandbags in the boot.
Yeah. So for example, Ed, you get like a 206 millisecond ping to the server, whereas I get like 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, I on a good night 33, and then for some reason 66, and then it'll go to 100 regularly. So
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. That's been done to death. Let's just get on to the race.
Yeah, look at the leader. No, he's in the pit lane now. So it's quite funny. I led a lap, but because Steve went into pit, he crossed the start-finish line. I pitted the following lap. Mark picked up 2 lead laps, and I didn't even get a lead lap.
Yeah,
So how did you get that lead lap, Ed? How did that happen?
I was just about to follow. Well, I didn't actually get one, Bruce.
Yeah, but he was about to dive in and like, Ed, you're going to lead? Like, he goes, oh crap, and he's like, turns out at pit lane and goes around one more.
Mind you, I come in with half a litre, so...
I said, look, it says 1 Ed Cullum there, Ed, so I reckon you get the point.
Yeah, it's not showing it on the results page.
Yeah, it's because of the location of the pit lane. And
And the start finish line. There's our new race leader.
Mr. Dial, the Godfather himself.
He went in the race lead. Look at that.
And he stayed out long enough to get a point.
He did say that to me at some stage. He goes, "Oh, yeah, no, I stole a point. I just stayed out long enough to get one."
Oh, he told me off because I went an extra one.
So I think you have to thank Adrian Zeal for that.
Scotty,
the fuel saving behind him.
parents just had a little off at the Keyhole.
Yeah. Adrian, thanks, Adrian, because I was saving a lot of fuel in that first stint behind you. So.
And Dial into the pits.
There he goes. Yep.
He's in.
Okay, let's watch this. You missed the textbook stop. Run us through it, Mark. Tell us what happens.
Come on, Mark. Tell us what's going on.
Was
Yeah,
reversed.
wheel went off. Wheel was off. Wheel was dead.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Ba-ba-da-da.
Now it goes up. Yeah,
But I
there
do
it is.
have to thank that safety car that's parked in the lane.
It's parked. You was parked there every other race you were in it, Mark. But
Not even that.
you could have parked it somewhere better.
Robert say at least you could drive through the safety car in the pit lane.
Not put it on its roof.
Yeah, that's right.
And Mr. Lenyon, he's out to a 4-second lead here from Ed. Bruce 4 seconds back. Then Mr. Walden.
So just put a comment from chat from Reese. The race for the championship, heat 15 and 16,
Yeah, look where we pitted. Both pitted on lap 2.
nose to tail.
Yep.
Joseph up in the double figures.
Where Mr. Dial come back out in 10th. Whoops.
Oh. And this was an interesting one to follow, isn't it, Pete?
It is, but notice how the gentleman is split through.
Watch this.
Notice how the Pete.
Gentlemen, there's not a gentleman here inside. Watch this.
You let him pass. Here comes Pete.
Watch
Yep.
it there. Yeah.
Pass of the century.
He goes down the inside, dials around the outside.
Oh, tap the brakes.
At the brakes, squeeze him out.
So,
Yeah, I was going to say, cut his nose off.
so where Bulldog did 1, our championship leader did 3.
Yeah. Pass of the century.
Times 3.
Yep. Don't worry,
Yeah.
payback's coming.
Yeah, not yet. I will say that having pitted on lap 2 and talked earlier about alternate strategy and trying to undercut as many cars as I could, from the first pit cycle I undercut 17 cars, so I was pretty stoked about the stage of the race. I thought, okay, I've got a chance to try and fight and get some points.
So this is a big deal that Reese has just pointed out in chat. So you're now up to P12, and now there's 3 cars between you and Reese.
Yeah.
Because it was
that's a
pass
pretty
of the
important
century.
move.
It was pass of the century. Pass of the season.
Pretty important move, that. See, if it was Dave, it wouldn't have mattered that much because he would have just got 1. Because you got 3.
Some would say it's a championship pass.
So what I was going to say though is that might come down to that actually. Mr. Andrew Johnson showing how there are gentlemen in split 3 that actually redress when they make contact with the other cars.
It's been good to see. There's been a lot of that this season.
Mark Dole, note that.
Oh, what? I redress. I've always
You wear a dress.
I've always redressed. We know you wear a dress, Bargain, your paper champion.
Hey, I've still got one to my name.
Only on paper.
I looked at for me the easy bit of the race was done, which was the find clear air and get sort of midway, and then it's like, okay, I know I'm going to have to fight now for the rest of the race. So, because as much as I hope Johnny will bring up the pit strategies a bit later, and we'll see how different they were. As much as they're widely different, there's now a period of race where if you're going to make gains, you've just got to fight and overtake people. And I'm going to say, everybody I was around, they were pretty quick dudes, so you really had to think about it and find your place and work hard.
And not to mention on your strategy, you had to manage your tyres as well.
Yeah, I did a few laps on my first in. Yeah.
So now this is the battle within a battle. So Ed and I, how many points are we apart in the championship, Ed? Like 3?
2.
2?
And that's Reg's. Reg gave me 2.
Yeah.
-2. For running you off the road. Running you off the road.
And I don't know if anyone saw my rear wing last night.
It was on the side of the track somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, see. little message to my teammate on the back there.
Oh, could I have a Mark Dole don't touch for me next week? Off limits, Godfather.
Don't worry about it.
Right, at least I know how to hit you properly, though.
It hasn't come up yet.
Oh, Ed didn't muck around, and the good thing about Ed is that he at least damaged my car. He gave me a meatball, but he just drove away. So that's like textbook how to do it, Ed. So if you're going to do it right.
Mind you, I ran the rail
You did.
trying to avoid you. It was other
You
you were
did.
the safety car, and I wasn't going to do the safety car until you were the race.
Yeah, that would have really screwed your championship.
I think who got Dave Galley having a go at the Super John Van Ree.
Woo.
Look at that. See how much difference the sandbags make? They're so much heavier going in the braking zone.
Yeah, look nice and slow. See, he's locking the front because the front's off the ground.
Oh, look at
Oh, you still got it?
Oh, yeah, yeah, locks the front, goes a bit wide, understeers. Dave keeps it wide.
Jeez, John, you had some fun last night.
Good move. God, that's a good racing.
So what
So,
brake
John, how many-
bias was? What brake bias was everybody on?
Look out, look out. We've got the flasher. Scotty Perrins.
Oh, no, Scotty Perrins, he's going the flash.
Go in the flash. And I heard it wasn't the only time he did it last night. I've never seen Dave Worrell get so upset, but he was fuming about someone flashing at him.
Oh, it is what it is. Like, I was getting frustrated that I'd get through and then the car behind me would just follow me and catch right up. But it is what it is.
So lap traffic was pretty good.
It ebbs and flows.
Yes, there's no point crying about it. Just get on with it.
For me last night.
There's certainly
I
been
know, Ed.
There's Joseph. Joseph. I think I missed it. He's facing backwards.
Oh,
Oh, Joe, run on it. Oh, well drive.
so I think from memory, there's probably a good battle going on with Gunther at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a little battle going on with Marshy.
John Gallen's asking, what was your brake bias, John?
Mine.
3.5 bags.
I think it was about 52 and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Is that kilos or grams or?
Kilos, just a bag of cement.
Or dollars. Yeah.
Just a bag of southern cement. That's about 25 kilos.
I was going to say 2 bags of cement, John.
You're
Yeah.
at 57. We're at 47. Oh, I was at 47.
Wow, I ran 53.9, just under 54.
Yeah, I started at 47.5, then came up as the fuel went off.
Yeah, wow, that's big differences.
Where's Joseph?
And I was also playing with my wheelbase settings. I'm like, shoulder, take it
where's the
down,
slider?
wheelbase, set it to 100. And I'm recording it right now.
Yeah, the car moved around quite a bit on this track, which was a lot of fun.
Sean doing well here.
Just as I said that, Sean had a nice little drift through there.
Wiggle out of the corner, yeah.
Mickey Clifton pitted on lap 5. He pitted early.
Yeah, I'll bring that strategy box up for you, Pete.
I don't think he qualified that well, Pete. Yeah, he qualified in 17th, where normally he's up that top 5, you know?
5's an odd, like, I mean, Reese and I pitted on lap 2, like straight away, because we were like out of place, but 5's an odd one. So he Mick must have felt that he was getting held up and just went,
Yeah.
okay, I'll get out of this traffic and go. But yeah, no, it's interesting. So some early pitters there. I don't know what Mick did, but I'm pretty sure Reese and I both filled up to the gills and just went, okay, it's time to just drive now.
Because we were talking about strategy, and I lined up behind Steve, and I went, I don't know about you guys, but the bloke in front of me has won about 6 races. I just want to follow him. So if he comes in, I'm going in.
Pretty good strategy.
Yeah.
So we talk about Pete getting those 3 lucky opportunistic passes. No, poor old Reese is still stuck behind Jono.
Yep.
So you can see the damage that was done.
I think also Reese is in a position where he is in a much slightly riskier position, whereas if he does make some contact with someone, I think he's not that far away from getting a potential pit lane penalty. So the last thing he should have wanted to do here, whether consciously or subconsciously, is make a mistake, make a genuine mistake, trying to pass someone a bit eagerly, and then end up with a pit lane start for the last round, which you can't drop. So,
Is there many in points trouble last night, Rich?
No, it was actually a pretty uneventful race for the most. A couple of guys had a few issues. Most of it was all served in race. I don't think there was too many that copped anything post race. I guess probably Carl. Carl's probably the one that had, unfortunately, the worst night for a while for him. But,
Mark's having a look.
yeah.
Mark was behind me for a long part of the race after he tried to block me, so I was kind of happy just having behind. But every time I gapped him, he caught it back. So he was actually quicker than me last night. He was quite a quick driver.
Yeah.
Nice, Mark.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to go have a look at Pico Racing on Facebook, Carl very passionate about his vets racing.
That's a very definite my corner there, Mark.
Yeah, good racing by Justin. He pulled out just in the right second. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, and at Reese giving credit to AJ. So nice one, AJ. Enjoy that with your cornflakes. Good fair driving, good defending skills. It's tricky in that position, right? About do you attack, do you defend?
Reece and I just have to make as many positions as we can because we're both out of sync with all the pit stops, and I was pretty sure that because our first pit stop was on lap 2, so we only had a 65 lap fill, and that filled us like to the gills. So I was pretty sure that others had a lesser or a shorter second pit stop. So I knew that whoever we got in front, I still might have had to overtake again or end up behind after the second pit stop. And the same was for Reece. So I was pretty sure that whatever was happening to me was happening to Reece. And it was like the whole thing going through my mind, going, where's everybody going to be after the second pit stop? I've got to make hay while the sun shines, because Reece and I would have had lighter fuel tanks right now, so we had the chance to actually put some pressure on people, but we were going to have to do it twice.
Yeah. At this point, I'm wondering how am I in third?
And then I put the mocker on him. He's going, shut up, Ed. I said, it'd be nice to get 2 Shadow Racing guys on the podium.
Shut up, Ed.
Yeah. And he said we only have a little banter between us.
Yeah.
There's a fair bit more than little, though.
Yeah, but at least we're not chatting. Trust me, when I'm doing endurance, it's like chatting the whole way around about God knows what.
Yeah.
I hate talking during races. I don't know about you guys. I just like silence.
It depends.
Focus.
Yeah. If I overdrive and if I'll talk. So Darren was just like applying the torch to me all night. He's just sitting there, couldn't get past, just keep me honest. So it looks like Reece is now trying to apply the torch to AJ in front. Little wiggle, trying to get the power down.
Interesting point you bring up there, Pete. We all got the mute button, so if someone goes quiet, we know they're in the mix of it. But those midsections where it can sometimes really help. It just makes you not overdrive the car and not overthink it,
I must admit, one thing that I've done is I've turned off text chat, and having text chat turned off removes a ton of distraction. I found.
There shouldn't be any text chat though.
No, there is. There's all the race control messages that come up. There's because if any cars make contact, race control will put out text.
I don't see that. I'm not looking that high up in the screen.
I've moved everything around, but
I
know that it's coming.
I actually don't put them all out there. I only put those that I think people are about to call in anyway.
Yep,
I'll
yep.
put as noted.
Smart.
First lap, and I see noted, and I go, oh, Reg has just paid me off now. Okay. Yeah, that's all. I just saw noted. I went, right, okay, head down, race on.
I've seen you pump that much into the text chat over the last 2 years, Pete.
Reg, I'll have to have a chat. I'll have to have a chat with your setup to make sure I can be consistent going into next season. Just put through.
Absolutely, mate. More than happy to help out. And I think it's more so the drivers that help make it consistent.
Yeah. The other thing which I'm thinking of too is I race control because I have the paid version. I may turn on the blue flag warning texts from race control. I may not.
No, let's talk about that offline, Bruce. There's some pros and cons to it.
Yep. Or I can just leave it off and just have it start throwing penalties.
No, hold that thought. Have a chat with us after the broadcast.
No, I will.
Silence after race control discussion. Let's go.
Hey, it's better than the race control discussion I was in on Wednesday night.
I bet. But I just gotta admit, how nice is it that we actually have these tools and we can actually start to do this stuff now? It's just, and we're having, should I do this, should I do that?
Speaking of silence after a race control discussion, I had the pleasure of listening to last week's broadcast because obviously I wasn't part of it.
Oops.
And I must say when somebody asked how's race control been this season, that 30 seconds of silence was pretty damning.
The first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about
Fight Club, exactly.
Yep.
I did have a good chuckle.
Yeah, you have to.
And I would have been 400 miles nautical off the coast as well, except that I just don't do boats, mate.
Now, how did Peter Kelleher get past me? I forget. I wonder if I had to slow down or something.
I may have missed a mistake at turn 4 on lap 31.
I heard.
Yeah.
Also, Pete,
That's John Van Reed looking after next season's race
Oh,
control.
what happened? Yeah.
Missed a mistake.
No. So I don't remember this banter. So what happened was,
Bruce, look after it. No, we'll be right next season. Yeah.
Hey, where's that Baxter in the list again?
I can tell you what happened. Darren made a move, and he just went where there's no grip. He went up the inside, went off. I had to delay my turn in to let Darren go sailing through on the grass. I went off on the grass, came back on as well. Then Carl, Pete went past. That's what happened.
You're like a future race controller, mate. You've got to let us have our story.
No, because he couldn't see it. I'm just letting people know what actually happened.
I'm glad to see that John missed our little incident there, Pete.
What incident?
What incident? Yeah.
Yes. So for all those listening, the Godfather was lighting a cigar whilst going into the braking of a certain corner, and tapped the middle of somebody else's car, and we kept driving. So, and in fact, did you go into the Chinaman's trap and
No, I just went sideways.
Yeah.
I just went. Oh, I didn't get off the track, but I was trying to take a drink down the back straight, and I just couldn't find where to put the can back down on my desk. And the braking zone come up, and I went, "Uh-oh, Pete, you're in trouble."
Here we go. Racing around here.
I see Bulldog's been under pressure for a while there. He's actually starting to handle it well now.
That was the quietest night I've ever heard him in chat.
Yeah.
So he was busy.
He's had a solid season.
Definitely enjoying it.
See, Gary Buckland's called out that everybody's getting used to each other, and now it's like really racing cleanly, and we all sort of know the pros and cons. There's no sort of silly stuff going on. Yeah.
But the shame is it's the end of the season, and next season you're going to have many new drivers in.
But that's the exact same discussion that we had after round 1 of this season. It takes 2 to 3 rounds. People start to find their feet, and then the rest will slowly filter in. And then unfortunately, you get to round 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever we happen to be racing that season, and it all goes to shit. But the more you get that core group of 25 to 30 drivers that will remain in the split, the less time it'll take to get up to speed. So, you know, if you've got that same mid-pack of drivers, I think you'll see, you know, with a favourable track draw that we've got next season, I think that you'll see less carnage. And certainly if there's more carnage, well, it's clearly race control changing.
I think next season will be. I think there'll be more carnage next season. To be honest.
Well, we've got 12 drivers, 12 new drivers in next season into the series.
And I'll back Reg up, Bruce. For you, it'll feel like way more carnage. Reg, for you, it'll be a lot less carnage, and they'll just change the race control, make a big difference.
Oh yeah,
Well,
race control for 3. Race control's going to be horrible.
Hoffy's gunning for split 3 next season, I hear.
So here's.
Oh,
Oh no.
So what Hoffy doesn't know is that the safety car laps are going to count for official lap time. So he's definitely split 1. I'll just remove the filter. They'll all count all because these boys that go out and take pole every time. Guess what? It's going to come back at you. No, I think there's going to be a bit of a mix-up next season because we're going back to pure quali pace. I think the splits will be a bit out of whack a little bit, just a little bit. With a few more people out of place. A few more of the people like the Steve Lanyon that are a bit faster where they should be, or something like that. I'm expecting a little bit more. But we'll see. I could be wrong.
Oh, Bulldog. See if it makes the move.
I'm interested to see what the wheel brings next week.
Oh, wheel of death. It'll be back. Reg, you've been told to check your messenger.
And who told you that? Would that be Dave?
Yeah.
If it's that video that I just watched, if Dave's listening, if it's the video I just watched,
This is a fight that went on for laps.
you can get stuff, Dave.
And backs out. Thought you can have a look there. No, yes, this is the door. He's in. He's in. He's in.
It took about 4 laps to set up, to be honest. You guys haven't seen it. Brett drove really, really well, and it took me a long time to find a spot. He just gave me a little opening, I had a crack. So, kudos to Brett. He's driving really well.
Yeah. We're not doing overdriving it. He's just...
Yeah.
Chipping away.
Yeah, so back to what I was about to say before, we've got 12 new names in the league next season. A couple of returning drivers in Halal Caesar. He's been with us for a long time. Stephen Varga, the season 9 or 10 champion, otherwise known as the AKA Paper Champion. Just ask Jamie McKnight, he'll tell you all about it.
Nice.
Stacey Boyd, who's going to be racing with Old Mates and Sons. I think he's dialing in from Buffalo in New York.
Wow.
Just around the corner, I believe, from Jeff Eddy. And then we've got Andrew Rushworth, who is new, coming to us from Apex Esports. Luke Grundell, who I believe is the El Supremo from SLS, one of their fastest drivers, so he probably one knocking on the door of Split 1. John Lee, don't know much about John, he's in as a privateer from Bulladilla. Ross Watson, coming in from Misfits Racing from New Zealand. Roger Longridge from Sydney. And then we've got Aidan Rice, who used to race in Ben Anthony's team. Scott McKay and John Fillingham have come from Veterans Gaming Australia. Great to have those 2 guys along. And then another new driver we've got coming in this season is Michael Whiting, the big fish himself.
Hey, Bulldog, bite me, pony boy.
So that John Lee that you mentioned, John,
Yep.
is not the RaceKraft John Lee.
No, it's John Lee from Bulladilla. So he's from New South Wales.
So out of those names, John, there's a name or 2 there that could even be Split 1 contenders after pre-qual.
Oh, there's at least two that I know of, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of names in there that would be fairly strong Split 2 contenders. So I guess my message is, if you're a sort of a long-term Split 2 at the back end, some dudes that I've probably raced with quite a long time, I don't think your spot's safe in Split 2. You might just pop down a split. But if that happens, I've got to tell you, because I went from Split 2 to Split 3, I've loved coming to Split 3 and having some races at a different part of the field, like, you know, because essentially what Vets is about is finding somewhere to race and having people to race with. And so yeah, so don't be disheartened if it happens to you guys, and get out there and just enjoy whatever it is you get to race.
Meanwhile, back on track. Mark chucking up the inside of Justin Woods. Ed's trying to close down as well.
I remember Mark saying, boy, that took a while to get past him.
And then Ed goes. Where does Ed go?
Just to answer your question, Reese, tracks will be announced before the start of the race next Friday.
Speaking of tracks, got a choice. Barber, Portimao, or Misano for next season.
Ooh, interesting.
Is
Drop
Portimao the new one that's coming?
Yeah,
Portimao and
what you
Misano.
I'd say Misano because I'm a lover of everything Italian.
You'd have to go a new track.
You drop Barber.
Yeah, Barber's been
Yeah,
dropped.
Barber's dropped. It's just either Misano or Portimao.
Couldn't say either one. I don't recall either track. So
No, they're new ones coming, Mark.
yeah, no, I don't mean iRacing. I haven't seen it on any other platform or even Formula One.
Portimao's got a lot of elevation change. I think it's new. It is an F1 circuit that's just recently been added for this season. I think.
It's on Race Room, I think.
Space from Spain?
Yeah, I'll have to do what I did last time. I'll have to go and find some onboard laps of some different cars.
That was...
Oh, Justin!
Oh, Justin.
Yeah, I know. I saw him coming flying up the inside, and I went,
Oh.
oh, I'm taking a different line there.
Took me a little while to get going too. Cost him a few.
He must have been having a drink too. That's the same thing
Yeah,
as Godfather did. He just missed the cat in front of him.
Yeah, I had to change my jocks after that one.
You may have missed this next one.
John, you might just want to go to pit exit.
Uh,
Go to Scotty Perrins. That's too. I think you missed it. Maybe. Yeah, or Scotty Perrins. Yeah, just wait 1 second.
It's
Yep, Pits. This will do it. So there's Scotty. So if you're gonna race, yeah, because you might as well race both on track and in the pit lane. So here I go. Here goes Scotty.
let's say it was Scotty.
genuine thing. He just tucked him behind.
Yeah, he
Beautiful.
bullied him.
So then we come out in all this traffic. Oh, there's a flasher behind! There's a flash behind! Oh, that's Bobby!
Who's that flashing?
I wonder who. It was someone flashing.
Oh my!
And that's the quality we got now, folks. Look at that.
And then, so poor Scotty, because he just got caught up in all of that. It's 3 wide.
3 wide. Here we go.
Oh, good racing, boys. Good racing.
Yeah. Still going.
Scotty, don't give up.
No.
New tyres too, don't forget.
No, what is shit? No, sure, nor should he. No, keep fighting Mick off, Scotty. Yeah, you're on my team. That's good, man.
Yeah, that was a good little battle.
Yeah. Not really what you want at lap 40.
Oh, it's fine for me. Gave me a 2.5 second gap. It was great.
Jeff Sanford's still battling away with Baldock.
But that just shows the difference, right? If Scotty had managed to come out of pit lane in front of me, I probably would have exactly the reverse. He would have bolted away and I would have got caught up in it all.
And he wouldn't have come out right in front of me, so I would have been flashing lights, distracting everybody, and that probably wouldn't have happened.
What were you doing, John? Just, a little bit of payback?
Yeah, a little bit of payback.
Okay.
Flashing lights don't distract me anymore. I had them so many times where I missed them at night that it's just whatever.
Don't even think I've got the right button back.
Actually, we're going to one of your favourite tracks, Barger, in next season, where McKnight stole the win from you. The Lions.
I do have it mapped out, but it's going to be remapped to windscreen wiper, single wipe.
Yeah, I'll give you the win, Steve. You're right. I'll give you.
We got Le Mans. We got the Zerka where I was supposedly holding him up. Which other? There's another track in there. I can't think what it is. That's all I can think of for now. Many moons ago.
So, Pete, you're sitting in second at the moment. What's going through your head?
Lanyon, just go and pit. I want to get an extra point. Go and pit. I want to get an extra point. That's what's going through my head.
Because I know I was talking to Brett and Mark, and they hadn't pitted at this stage either. So it's going to be interesting to see how I come out after my second pit stop. You see?
I was trying to. I knew I had a longer pit stop than most, but I thought, no, I'm going to eke this out. And if I can sneak a little lead lap point after my start, that was going to be an absolute bonus. So I was just, and I had a clean track. So I have a philosophy is while I got clean track, I'm driving.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to, I was going to keep driving. I was watching my thing, and I was like 0.2 of a lap in terms of fuel. That was my sort of hit. And I thought, oh, can I go that extra lap? And if I went the extra lap, I might have got the point, but I couldn't in the end.
Didn't have a pit,
Nah, Steve Lanyon just stole it from me again.
I think Steve led every lap bar two. That's when Mark got on his
Yeah.
So he pitted and come back and he was still in the lead.
Yeah. But really it was just a clean track, run the fuel tank dry, which was the whole strategy anyway. And then shorten the back end stint with green tyres, and then when I come out, just see where I was and go as hard as I can and see what I can sort of make up. And in my mind, right, my worst round all season has been a P9, and so that's my drop round. And I'm like, okay, so I'm fighting for something better than P9. That's what I'm fighting for.
Lanyon into the pits.
Sean up 16.
He drove well last night, Sean.
One thing I've come to realise is my fuel margin is too big, so I basically put an extra lap too much fuel in. So that's like 2 seconds, so or a second in the pits. That was pretty close to why Darren's ahead of me as opposed to behind me, so I have to tighten that up a bit.
So there you go, Pete. He pitted. He still didn't lose the lead.
I pitted on the same lap. If I went another lap, he'd have lost the lead. But and like I said, it was just too close a margin to risk it for me. I mean, I could have taken the risk for 1 point, but I thought, no, it's too close a margin. I'll just go in and get my tyres and sort of see what I can recover. Like I said, I was trying to chase something better than P9, so I had to sort of focus on that more than just the 1 point for grabbing a lead lap.
Autocross line from Sean Slater.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah, you may not have got it, Pete, 'cause just like Ed didn't get it because of where the start-finish straight is in relation to the pits. You may not have actually got the extra point.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I wasn't quite sure of, so that's why I didn't take the risk. So I just thought, all right, I'll come in and just focus on the end of the race rather than just that one.
So Reese having a look
Around the long way.
around the outside.
It was interesting. There was 2 lines through that corner.
It's a good move.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah.
There were definitely some good moves on the night. Like, it was hard to pass, but I think a lot of the moves that did get made were actually, like, really where you basically, give the competitor a clap and go, nice one, like, pay that move.
Sean's gone, I'm not upside down, so that's a good start.
And you're not upside down is a good start.
Yeah, as of last race.
Yeah, Rob Baxter hasn't been upside down for a while. It's about time he flipped it over.
Well, he missed a race. Where is Rob actually?
Last night, he just, ever since he got sponsorship at the underside of the car, he hasn't flipped it.
Lap 44.
He doesn't want to sell it.
No, he had a bit of a shock. He did have a good strategy, but he had too many self spins, and it sort of just cost him. So he just sort of settled in to see whatever result he could, and he's still taking this whole series, this whole season as a learning season. You know, first ever league season. I'm sorry, the first ever league season.
Oh, hang on to it, Andrew. Oh.
But we'll say,
Oh.
all the
Is
uninitiated.
that experience again?
The uninitiated last night's setup would have been easier to spin.
Especially on this track.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 corners on this track where even in a good setup, the arse end comes
Off,
pretty
yeah,
loose
yeah.
pretty quick.
Off camber going over hill.
Yep.
That from Pato. I was so impressed I forgot to push the throttle.
Sean letting Anita through.
Let's go. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Rob's had a ball, but it's still a very much a learning series for him, and loving every bit of being involved. So that's kudos to vets.
He's running about 30th now. So,
Yeah, I'll hang shit on him though. He's got the racing line on, so he's got to turn that off. Yeah. Yeah, it's vets, right? I mean, you run a racing line if you're 4 years old, not if you're 40 or plus.
what happens if you're 60-year-old and partially blind and
I'm an optometrist, I don't know. Oh, come on, he's been hanging shit on me the whole season. I've got to get something back on him.
you got to get some.
Look at that. That was that. That was a good move. Sean. He's jumped in the race really well, hasn't he? He only jumped in mid-season, did he?
Last week.
Last
Yeah.
week.
No, good on him. Just jumping in and racing really well. So
Yeah, he's not afraid to give it a crack.
yeah,
We've already
Yeah.
got 2
Yeah,
drivers on the waiting list.
yeah. Sean, you could have put more pressure on Reese for me, but next season you'll learn that. But make it a bit harder.
Mr. Galley's been donating his rear wing.
Yep.
Are you going to tell the story about Galley, are you? Mark? Last lap and
Story?
lap of the race? Last lap, previous race and the first lap, this race?
Yeah, well, yeah. I've forgotten about that. So yeah,
Okay.
but I did get him back this week.
So that's the reason we went.
Yeah. So,
Clifton up 11 spots in 6th. A good drive from him.
yeah, considering, like I see, he didn't qualify that well. I was looking for him. I was going, where's Mick gone? When we finished qualifying.
Don't forget Mickey's P3 in the championship too, so I'd be on him as well.
That's why I was saying, where is he? Where? Okay, we'll try not to mention Marty's last lap.
It's rating that.
Already have. So at this stage, I've got a very quick Peter Keller chasing me down. So we sort of went toe-to-toe for the whole race. Not actually close, but as you can see, he's now in the mirrors. And I'm looking at the laps going, 10 lap, I don't know.
So Pete's really interesting. We haven't talked much about him tonight, but he raced a fairly strong race, and he was up in the sort of top group the whole race.
No, Pete's done really well.
He made a little mistake on his first pit. I think he went off and then pitted, so that put him back quite a bit. I think he was in second spot when that happened. Oh! Jeez, I have given him the commentator's curse, haven't I? Sorry, Sean. Oh, what was that? You
Yeah, it was me.
got.
He's just showing off for the camera.
Yeah, pretty much. Round the corner. What the hell?
Yeah.
That was fairly sideways.
That sand would have shifted in the boot.
Yeah, I reckon it's got one side of the boot to the other.
The straps holding it in certainly broke.
And so here's a new guy. You know, Russell Gander's been new to the vets this season as well. Joined us in Split 3, and he's raced cleanly the whole time. He's another guy from Veterans Gaming Australia, Russell.
Oh, okay.
And come and join us this season. We've got another couple of guys that have come along, ex-military vets, and all in the sim racing, all really clean race dudes, just looking forward to good hard competition and know what it's all about, and really good guys to race with actually. So good to have Russell here, and I did I come up the back of him. It took me about 4 or 5 laps to get around him too. So good hard racer, and I'm sure the more time he spends in the supercars, he's going to get a little bit faster and might find himself in the top 10 of the Split 3 next season a bit more if he doesn't qualify better.
Oh, he's been doing East Coast as well. Pretty classy field mix in there, and he's really held his head really well. No being open setups and no aids and any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, Rusty has had an absolute great season over at East Coast. So you can definitely see the improvement reflecting in vets. So I have to agree with you, Pete. Definitely one to keep an eye out for next season, I think.
Yeah.
Steve Lenyon, 13 seconds up the road, 33 seconds up the road from Ed.
I come out of my second pits, and we're in a back marker situation, and check the tail. This is where another one where I went, maybe I should just stay out wide here. I saw my life flash between my eyes. Yeah, that was a great move, by the way.
So in Discord we hear, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now that could be anything. That could be Ed's crashed, Ed's gone off, Ed's only got a 1x. So you've got to interpret that, and you don't know what that means. But that was definitely one of them.
But in this case, it was Pete got me.
Yeah.
No, in car, I'd lost him, obviously, and then as I let the car drift as far as possible to the left, all of a sudden he's just drifted straight in front of my eyes. All I could see was the back window.
Because remember, Ed's a single screen warrior.
And it's,
That's
a
me how.
millimetre here, a millimetre there.
Okay. Well, Pete's just thrown in a sorry Ed in the chat, but I don't think he needs to be sorry. We're racing.
No, exactly.
Yeah, don't apologise, Pete. Yeah, get around us when you can. Race fair, it's all good. We'll spread love and war.
So Pete, your apology for being a faster, better the racer than Ed Cullen is accepted.
Yes.
I saw you coming, Pete, and I went, yeah. You just sometimes you need a bit of skill, not to overtake people, but to get to be overtaken.
Sorry, what do we need, Ed?
Yeah, I don't know. I completely stuffed it up.
No, what is that? What was that word you said? I don't know what it means.
It was an S word here.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. I don't know idea.
Oh,
now this is the first time I come up in Paddo ever in the whole season. I'm like, and in my mind I'm going, oh shit, I've never really raced against Paddo. I don't know how much. I don't know whether he's going to be a Bowie on me or whether he's going to be anything. And then it's like, awesome. Racing with
Darren, friend.
Yeah.
It wasn't Paddo.
I wasn't Paddo. I thought it was Darren. Paddo.
So you still haven't raced against Paddo.
I still haven't raced against Paddo.
He's looked in the mirror and he's going, hey.
Oh, that reminds me. Where's Mr. Gunter? I give him another mind punt last night. I come up behind him, and next thing I know, he's off the track in the wall.
Davo's running about 27th at this stage.
Yeah, it was a while back in the race, but yeah, I come up behind him, and I thought, oh, here we go again.
If Dave had to respin his wheel,
Yeah, he didn't have a good night last night.
He did not.
Right, and I've got to tell you, right about now, I'm like P9. It's my equal worst result, so I'm like, okay, drop round. 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go, and the best I might be able to get is Brett if I can. So 1.5 seconds, because there's another massive big gap. I'll just put pressure on Brett, and we'll just see what happens. I'll take whatever I get. 4 laps to go.
So, yeah, Mickey Clifton applying the blowtorch. So this is what I've gone. All right, defensive Moses mode on. And, slowing down slowing down to try and make sure he doesn't get a run, and just trying to look at. But he's a smooth operator, Mr. Clifton. He's definitely put some pressure on. Might do that, might do the pressure. It's all good fun. And to be honest, this is what makes vets great, right? The fact that we're able to, it's particularly this season, Splits 3. The number, I think it's about every race, I've had some point where, we're doing this sort of stuff, where it's just respectful, hard, close racing, and it's just awesome fun.
Come on, Mickey, have a go at him. Come on, boy.
Scotty being nice and consistent.
Oh, it's good racing.
Yep, Scotty about to join this battle.
Yeah, it's good racing.
Don't underestimate the Scott.
Yep. So you can see, once again, as usual, my racing line has changed.
How good was that? Whoever that lap drive was,
Looked
hands
like
down, that
fun.
was fabulous.
Is that much?
Yeah, just let the race of 3 go. That's awesome. I'm sure Bruce didn't like it. He might have wanted him to stop Mick, but
That wasn't going to happen. Those days were over at this point. Like, what is he, like 2 tenths behind? It's like not going to happen.
3 laps to go, Bruce.
yeah, 3 laps to go. Bruce, do you hold him off?
Just time for me to start to
Can you hold him off?
I reckon. No, I reckon Mick Clifton is going to do the real pass of the century. I reckon that's what I think is going to happen. So Bulldog, get your pen and paper, take notes.
So I wonder what's going through Scotty Perrin's mind here. Is he like, am I putting pressure on, or am I just following to see what happens?
I think he's waiting for the rubber band to break, to be honest.
John's asked
good.
how old your tyres were, Bruce.
So I was evenly splitting, so we're one from the end, so it would have been 18 laps, I think.
Oh,
So-
Mick had a look there.
He had a look. He definitely had a look. He was, and I'm trying to look forward to as well. So I'm trying to, do the defensive line, but still. And to be clear, I wouldn't, as I said to Mick after the race, I would not be defending this hard if it wasn't 2 laps from the end.
Oh,
If
no,
this
you have
was
to.
like-
Yeah, 2 laps
if
from
this
the
was-
end. Yeah, so go around the outside, bugger. Yep.
So this is like defensive all the way.
Yeah, because there's no strategy left to play, right? It's you are where you are, and you've now got to race to the end.
All right, so
So fair
John-
fight.
John's come back and said Mix was 30 laps old at this stage. Bruce.
No, they were 20. Because he's come in at lap
Oh.
34 and Bruce came in at lap 38.
Oh, give us the pit window, Johnny. Give us the pit window. Let's show the truth.
It tells you.
There we go. Where are we?
Yeah. Still, what have I got? 15 laps on these tyres. Yes, there you go. Quick, put it away.
Yep.
Get rid of it. Let's watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, 15
There he
and
goes.
9. Oh, there he
Look at
goes.
this. Look at this.
Oh,
Fuck, he
that's
deserves a
good-
clap for that. That's a fucking
That was a
awesome move.
nice move.
I give him a tap just for good measure.
Okay.
But
Well done.
If you're not
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
where the,
Do
if
you
you're not
really
sure
give
where
him
the
a clap,
person last pitted, it tells you on the very right-hand side of the column. After
so
the
now
yellow.
you can go somewhere else, John.
Oh,
Quick, go
thanks,
somewhere
God.
else. Go
Stay
somewhere
there,
else.
John. Stay there, John.
Don't go somewhere else.
Lap 55, car 4, turn 4, McLeod.
Thank you.
Yep.
know.
Race control. This is car numbers.
Matt nicely waited for the redress, though.
Oh, was there a couple of checks there, Pete?
Yes, he just got 3 spots.
Yeah, I was going to say, was there a couple of checks?
So I felt so
Oh.
bad for that, and I just
Oh.
basically just turned it wrong and just it's fucking horrible.
And the better-looking Baxter getting the moves done and then not getting the moves done.
I got the shit for this because apparently I was supposed to hold up the guy in front of him so he could race him.
As I said, as I said to Mick in the chat, it's like I feel like crap because he's done the right thing lap after lap, and I've just gone a little bit too deep and just done that to him. But that's also how you redress as well. So I just want to make sure we do that. Like I said, gentlemen redress in split 3.
That's exactly what we said in race control. I can't believe that. Bruce has had him behind him for 6 laps and he hasn't touched him, and he gets him front once and Bruce pile
2
drives
laps
him.
later.
Well, you're still at 1 lap from your 9th position. You're still in 8th.
And what did I say to you at the end of the race, Reg? That I was in the wrong.
know.
Don't bother looking at it. Just chuck it at me.
I wasn't listening, sorry.
So don't waste your time. Just give me the penalty.
I'd already looked at it.
No. Yeah, of course. And this is me being the teammate. So Brett's currently at top of our team on the championship. So this is me letting the boys past from a points point of view. At this point, I'd also add at this point, at this stage, I was going to Melbourne next week, and I was going to miss the undroppable round. So
So are you still going to Melbourne?
the answer is no.
Right, all right. So for
But
everybody,
it doesn't matter. I would have done.
Hey, that was another Baxter.
who was that?
That was a Baxter.
And to be honest, I would have done it anyway. Like Ed did it for Brett last week as well. We know where we are in the points table, and we want to make sure we're helping the teammates out where we can.
And to be
Yeah,
honest,
of course.
Brett is a fair bit in front of us, though. It's not like it was close or anything,
Yeah. Yeah, so it's Ed and I. We'll probably have a friendly fight right to the end.
Yeah.
But but it's Brett needs the points to try and get as far up the points table as he can.
So I was just having a bit of a read off screen there, and for a tremendous cause, it looks like Mr. Van Rie's going to be running a new paint scheme on his bonnet for next week.
I'll do the whole car.
Whole car?
Yep.
Whole car?
Yeah, won't be the same on the sides, but it'll be a whole themed car.
Fantastic. Love your support, John.
Yeah, so Darren,
Anybody that's curious about it will have to tune in next week.
Or read the general chat.
Anyway, so Steve Lanyon has a 38-second lead at this point, and I'm pretty sure that he was driving at the pace of Peter Kelleher. So fucking awesome job, Steve. I'd say that the guy who did the splits may have got it wrong, but yes, that's just freaking amazing. I feel sorry for you because you only did a 1:22.00 something. You didn't get into the 21s.
And Walden home in 4th. Scotty Perrins home in 5th.
never say die, Pete.
Never say die, fellas. Never ever say die.
It's a good result for Scotty Parents.
There it is.
Yeah, also
You're welcome.
Scotty.
And also you're welcome to Mr. Baxter.
Thank you. Yes, from last to 6th, I'll take that.
No, it's only just 5 point. The 5. No.
A little bit of a spin going over the line.
Oh no! Who was? Oh, back
And
So my
Elliot's
goal
home.
for 3 is anything in the top 10's a win, and so I was happy with that result. Could have been happier. So Ed, next time, don't mention us in split in the podium positions. Thanks. I blame you.
I kept my end of the bargain up.
Yeah, I've led a couple of races this season to throw it away, so of course I'm going to throw it away from 3rd.
Yeah, it's not the first time, Bruce.
Do you have any notes from Mr. Lanyon?
Yes,
John?
Mr. Lanyon. No, I haven't got any notes, but he'd want to thank his team, all the other drivers. He'd want to thank us for doing the broadcast. He'd also want to thank the race control as well. And of course, competition coming tight down towards the end. He's fought his way back up in the championship with a couple of drop rounds or a couple of missed rounds. So he would definitely be working very hard to keep himself rolling on that one. And in second place, of course, was Pete Kelleher. Pete wants to thank RaceKraft, Parramatta, Isuzu Utes, Nova, Logitech, Player One, Watercraft Performance Centre, and the team at Synergy Sim Racing, especially Brenton Hobson, for doing that sensational livery that he's done for him, including the special touches of Gunter was here on the sides. Yeah, and Pete wants to send out a big shout to his brother-in-law, Jordan Ross, representing the team. Couldn't be better than Ross the boss himself in East Coast. And in third, we had Ed Cullen. Ed, anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate?
Yeah, I'm gonna a big special thank you to Mark Peck from Pecky's Racing. It's the closest thing we got to assist the team, and on the Wednesday night, he gave us a couple of suggestions, and the whole team took it on board for the race, and we ended up with 4 drivers in the top 10. So huge thanks to Mark for sharing that information. And for the team, awesome, the banter, and look how close we all are in speed. It's just been an awesome season this season. And the big one was to all the drivers in Split 3. It's amazing to rock up every week with so many cars on the track, and we all just have a ball. It's great.
Yeah,
Pete, I took a leaf out of your book, just a nice steady as she goes race and keep it clean. And yeah, I got my first podium for the season. It was fantastic.
And
Ed would also like to thank RaceKraft, AWS, and AG Power Tools.
And we'll have a quick look at the unofficial championship after 9 rounds, including drop rounds. So Peter Baxter on 1387 from Reese to Goey on 1312. Mick Clifton still sitting in P2 on 1309. Brett Fisher in P4. Darren Wild in 6th. Steve Lanyon in 6th. Ed Cullen sitting in 7th. Scotty Perrins in 8th. Bruce McLeod in 9th. John Van Ree in 10th. Jono in 11. Dial, Patterson, Gander, Zeal, Kelleher, Sanford, Andrew Galley, Dave Baldock in the top 20, along with Joseph Grenshaw. So that rounds out the top 20 of the championship at the moment. And, of course, can't drop a round next week, boys.
No pressure.
Yeah, and you can see right there, while we're giving Brett if we have an opportunity, we're giving Brett every point we can.
Yeah, definitely. It all adds up at the end. And next week, no pressure. And speaking of next week, Mugello. Not many people have turned many laps there, so it will be very interesting to see how everyone learns that and how that track goes on Thursday night.
Downloaded it last night, John.
Yeah, me too.
But it was a very popular track in a Assetto Corsa when it first come out, so it's not like a lot of us haven't seen it, but it feels fantastic in a V8 supercar.
So I did all my practice there last week instead of here. It's very much like, I would say, in flow, it's like Jerez. So it's long straights, big wide corners. You can use lots of the curbs. So it's got a lot more elevation change in it. But in regards to actual feel, I'd say it feels a lot like Jerez from that point of view. Yoey said it's for him it feels very much like Imola. So it's a very different track. There will be lots of passing opportunities, lots of action. So I think it's going to be a great track to send off the season.
I'm going to say exactly the opposite to Bruce. I've actually raced there a number of times. It's one of the hardest tracks to actually find a passing opportunity, very much like Nürburgring GP. You've really got to set up a passing opportunity and be patient, even though it looks nice and wide. So, practice is one thing, RaceKraft is another, and I suspect we'll get a race like Nürburgring where part of the field will race, other part of the field will try and force themselves through and end up in trouble.
So hopefully, I can respectfully disagree, and it's clean racing and it's good passing, but we'll see what we get. What we get,
and we'll find out next week. That will be the thing. It'll be interesting to see how we go. It'll be a good farewell for a few going up into the higher grades, and a good hit out for a few others. So.
The main thing is, it's not a good track to anybody have sandbags in the boot. Lots of corners. Lots of corners.
Well, there's going to be plenty of sand on my car next week. That's what I'm going to say.
It's a much longer lap too, so it's like a 150 lap, so it's a bit longer than this. So hopefully, Reg, it'll be no. Should I say it's going to be an easier night for you? But now I've said that, you're fucked. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Jesus, mate. I've got one more to go. Come on.
I reckon next week you'll need the laptop out to put them all down with. So
You reckon
yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
it.
still
I'm
do
just
next
looking
week?
at. I'm just looking at the layout now, loading it in, and thinking, "Oh my god."
No,
So,
I'm fairly
Reg,
confident in the rest of the split 3 boys.
what split will you slide into next season, do you think?
Well, that'll depend on where I prequel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have you got a gut feeling or?
I haven't turned a lap in near on 6 months, so I have absolutely no idea.
Oh,
So split 1 then, Reg.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
My bank details.
I think because we're going back just a hot lap prequel, it's going to be very interesting to see where the splits are, and I think you'll be surprised of a few names that will be up and down on that order. Like, it's quite a few guys I know that are not the world's greatest qualifiers, not good at doing hot lap time. Yeah, so it'll be interesting just to see how that all pans out. But we will know shortly. Wheel of Death on Friday night next week. We'll know the tracks, and we'll definitely get ourselves up and running in the new season, not too far away. Of course, it'll be good. I'll welcome to all the new guys. I know there's quite a few of those boys who've been sitting on the wait list all season waiting to get in. Already 2 on the wait list for next season. So if you do want to get involved, if you're having a season off or whatever, I highly recommend that you get on the wait list now, because I've got a feeling that wait list will be back up above 15, 20 people again at the start of or the end of next season when we go to doing the registrations. So definitely make sure you do that.
Just a little mention, John. Bathurst 12 hour on, I think, in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, the real one. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and the online one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
The real one's this weekend.
The real one's this weekend.
I was going to say, I thought
the
it was
official.
this weekend, but
Yeah,
it's the next weekend.
yeah, no, yeah, it's officials. Is what Red's talking about in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, V8's are there next week. Officials are the 12 hours this week, and the 6 hour is at Easter. So that's only 6 weeks away as well. So it's all happening very quickly.
So keep your eye out there if you want to give that a crack.
Definitely. On that note, we might wrap up the broadcast and see everybody again 9 o'clock next week for what will be a very entertaining final round, I think.
I think so.
Huge thanks, John. Thank you for putting this on again, mate. We all appreciate and love it. So thank you, mate.
And of course, a huge thank you to everyone out in the chat. Plenty of yous out there tonight. A huge thank you to all the lads that have come in and kept this ticking over all evening. A huge thanks, of course, to Bruce, Ed, Mark, Pete Baxter, Reg James, and special comments from Stephen Varga. And on behalf of those boys, Luke, Scotty, and myself, all of the race admin team and the committee, we wish everybody a good night, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, John. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John.
Introducing the RaceKraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed the Cage, an 8040 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the Sim Push Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.